No matter what you do, cooking is going to generate a certain amount of waste, whether we're talking peels, scraps, stems, things like that. You could compost them, and that would be totally fine. But today we're going to repurpose them to make a super tasty seafood stock. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be working with is garlic. You are all pretty familiar with this because you use it in everything. And you know that when you are first peeling garlic, you have to get rid of all this papery stuff. Most people chuck this straight into the trash, but it actually has like a bit of garlic smell, and it can add like a nice kind of tan color and body to your stock. So instead of tossing this, you just get rid of it like you usually would. Keep pulling off all that paper. So next you're gonna just peel garlic like you usually would. It's actually not that hard. I don't know why I made that noise. It doesn't require that much effort. And these peels are where you get like a good bit of pungent flavor. I'm just gonna keep going until you tell me to stop. I will do this all day. We're gonna grab our stock pot, sprinkle it all in there. And also make sure your counter is clean, because if not, this is kind of gross. My counter is clean. The next scrap we're going to turn our attention to is the lovely Parmesan rind. Now, a lot of stores have actually started just selling the rinds of Parmesan. This is dumb. Don't buy those, because why would you just buy the rind when you can buy Parmesan, eat it, and then use the rind? The great thing about these rinds is that they have a lot of tyrosine crystals, which are the little tasty bits of, I don't know if you could say, it's like little white little guys, and that's where all the flavor of Parmesan is. That's how you can actually tell good Parmesan from bad Parmesan, is how many crystals there are. By throwing them in the pot, the cheese is gonna melt, and you're gonna get lots of umami, you're gonna get some salty goodness, you're gonna get some creaminess, and that's why you should never, ever, ever throw these away. And now we move on to the main event, shrimp shells. You can use cooked shrimp shells, you can use lobster shells, you could use crab shells, any crustacean shell will work just fine. These are raw because we peeled the shrimp before cooking them last night, but they have a great seafoody smell. I like it. This is from about a pound of shrimp, which is plenty to make a super, super flavorful broth. You don't need any shrimp meat at all. So I know you're probably thinking you don't have all of this trash accumulated at the same time, but this is what I do. Basically, anytime I cook anything that has any sort of waste, I open up this bag, chuck it in there, and then put it in the freezer until I've accumulated enough to flavor a delicious stock such as this. So we've got some good stuff in here. We've got some onion peels, carrot butts, carrot peels, herb stems. We'll let everybody get to know each other. Next, you're just gonna add enough water just to cover the contents. You don't really need to measure, just make sure everything is nice and submerged. From here, you don't have to just stick to scraps. You could add a bay leaf for a nice round flavor. You should add some salt and pepper, and then just bring it to a boil, reduce to a simmer, and let it hang out there for about 3 hours. Another thing to look out for is that water will evaporate while it's cooking, so just add a cup or two of water to make sure things don't get too dry. Now that our soup is simmered for a while, all we need to do is strain out the solids. Carefully dump it in there. And that smells delicious. Now we have a great shrimpy stock that's perfect for ramen, perfect for risotto, obviously good for soups and stews, or any other brothy application you can think of. So maybe next time you have shrimp shells, you'll think twice before throwing them out. Thank you for making trash soup with me today. I'll see you next time on Eating Trash with Claire.